How's it going, guys? I hope you're having a great day so far. My name is Nathan Ng from ProGuides, and we're going to be helping you guys maximize your potential in game. Today, it's all going to be about how to make those 2000 IQ plays that Einstein himself would be kind of envious of. This means, of course, that it's all going to be about playing smarter in CS. While you're playing CSGO, you're making hundreds of decisions every single game. Mastering how to make the right choice each time will boost your ability to the next level and make sure that you're getting to the higher rank that you deserve. It's something that you'll have to take a different approach to improve in comparison to aiming and recoil control. Nevertheless, it's something every professional player has to master in order to get the level that they're at, and in this video, we'll be going over how they managed it. But before we go ahead and take a crack at this video, it's time for our question of the day. Today's question is, what is your favorite map in CSGO? Do you like to stick to the classics such as Dust 2 and Mirage? Do you favor the more creative maps like Overpass and Nuke? Or are you guys about the new kid on the block, Vertigo, as it blows a breath of fresh air into the map pool? Personally, I go crazy for Train. The long sight lines really favor an odd player like me, and there are some great strats that you can run on either site. But we want to hear from you guys and about your number one map. So make sure to drop a comment in the section down below, as we would love to read some of that stuff. Now, our first and by far biggest and easiest to follow piece of advice to help you guys play smarter is simply to think before you act. Now, this action could be anything from whether or not you should buy that extra flashbang all the way from that major decision like deciding to save. Let's go over a few key things that you should consider. First of all, think about what it means for you to win the round. Will it get you kills? Will it help you win the round? Both of these, there's never really a cut and dry correct answer, it's all about percentages. Pushing somewhere will never 100% win you the round, but sometimes it will grant you a higher chance of winning that round than not pushing at all. This is also why you should never get disheartened if you make a bad decision and you end up losing the round from it, as you never know completely what the end result may be. You can also just make an educated guess after an educated guess on how the round will play out afterwards. The second thing to consider is that what it will mean for your team if it goes wrong. This mainly consists of thinking whether or not you or your teammates can win the round if you die here. So if it's a 1v5 in your favor, pushing for info is a much better idea than the same push in, well, let's say a 4v4 situation. All in all, try to focus on the bigger picture before making any decisions about what to do. And after thinking about this, make an educated guess on whether or not you should make the play. Try to be as aware as you can be about what's happening in the round. It can be very helpful to try and create a mental map of what your opponents are up to. This could be things like where they are, what guns they have, and how many are left. And on the T side, try to keep a rough account of the utility that the counter-terrorists have left. Now, lastly, we got a tip that we guarantee that you have never ever heard before. You ready? Okay, here it is. Try to put yourself in the enemy's shoes. Putting yourself in the mindset of the opponent is the best way to make an accurate choice of whether or not to do something. Make sure to use information to figure out what they're going to do, and also try to think about what will and won't be expected from you and your teammates. Are they expecting an eco? In that case, think about forcing instead of trying to catch them off. Obviously not all the time though. Overall, try to be a more thoughtful player in how you play. There are 2 minutes of time each round when you include freeze time as well, so use it to your advantage. Next up, let's talk about using grenades smartly. This goes hand in hand with what we just spoke about, thinking before you act. One of these actions, of course, is throwing your grenades. This has nothing to do with lineups as well, because in this video we're going to be talking about the different nades that you have to use in the diverse lineups that you know. Dying with a grenade would, in an ideal world, never happen. Of course, that's not very realistic, so your best bet is to minimize the occurrence as much as you can. Dying with utility left over is not only a waste of money, but a wasted opportunity as well. Especially if you have to get into a clutch scenario, try to make sure that you use all of the utility that you have left to help you win the round. Secondly, make sure that you're not just using your utility wastefully. This includes a whole load of things, and the first of which is being where you don't throw any smokes or mollies in the same place as where there already is one. Additionally, there is no point at throwing a flash if there isn't a specific purpose. Too often, people will flash an angle just because they feel like it. Try to use your flashes to the maximum effect. After all, you only get 2 per round. Moving on now, I want to talk about practicing smarter play. Obviously, the best way to improve is to play proper competitive matches, but there are a few other ways that you can improve without risking elo, and if you're not in the mood for it, well, listen to these. The first way is to play execute or retake servers. For those of you guys who do not know how to find these, it's pretty easy. Just go to the community server browser and type either exec or just retake in the search bar, and click on any server that takes your fancy. These servers have a custom game mode running around the clock that puts you into a realistic scenario that you'd be expected to find in constantly. On retake servers, this situation is, well, you guessed it, a retake. This site will switch up each round and you'll be given a random utility to either defend or attack the bomb site with, and it lets you get right down to practicing how to retake without any downtime at the beginning of a normal round. And what's more, there's zero effect on your in-game rank. Execute servers are largely the same except for one key difference. that you have to take the bomb to the site before the bomb goes down, instead of each round starting with the bomb already planted. Both of these game modes have the same purpose, being able to train your response to situation in game instead of, let's say, in deathmatch, where your only objective is to, well, kill each other. The second and less commonly known method to improve decision making is all in the mental. You won't even have to start CS to do it. It's all visualization. Visualization is a key part of every single sport there is, and Michael Jordan would visualize his free throws, Muhammad Ali would visualize his punches. But what is visualization, I hear you ask, and how do I do it? In short, visualization is exactly what it sounds like. Simply imagine yourself in a situation in game and think about or visualize what's the best way to come out on top. Visualize everything about it, from where each enemy will be to how your crosshair moves between targets, from what you'll call out to your teammates to where you'll press the crouch button. Although this may seem like a futile endeavor, every professional athlete swears by it, and it's beginning to make an appearance in the high levels of CSGO scenes as countless people realize its worth. In essence, you're training your brain to respond to certain situations, and once you do this enough, autopilot will kick in when you get put into these instances in an actual game. This approach of practicing your decision making will undoubtedly help you improve your decision making abilities in no time. And I promise, if you stick with this for a bit, you'll end up playing like Zipniks in no time. Moving on to something that's more physical and mechanical is going to be about learning your angles on each map. The simple knowledge of knowing where you can get peeked from and also knowing where you can peek at any given time is extremely helpful. Studying and memorizing them properly will result in you playing much better in CS, as you overextend much less and make fewer silly mistakes. One of the golden rules of Counter-Strike is to only ever peek one angle at once. If you peek 3 at once, that's 3 different people who could potentially kill you, in comparison to only 1 if you play properly. Also, a small bonus of learning the angles is the resulting increased smoothness in how you play the game. By this, what I mean is how in control you look to anyone spectating when you're going around the map. Another word for it is, well, confidence. Confidence is key in CS, and knowing the angles on the map will definitely make you become a confident player. And if you need a place to find where you can learn all these angles, ProGuides is definitely the place to be. There are 2 main ways to do this, and luckily you can do them both in a single training session. First and foremost, practice and pre-fire maps downloaded from the Steam Workshop. This is undoubtedly the best way to practice learning angles, bar none. These maps are an essential tool to anyone on the CSGO grind, and players have hundreds of hours clocked up on them. Just go around them and move slowly and learn each of the common angles for 20 minutes each day, and I promise you, your map knowledge will drastically improve. Now, this does take some work, but you could just make it fun. The second method that we recommend is to go around these maps and play these common angles yourself in an empty game. Doing this will also significantly improve how well you know these angles, as it's important to revisit these angles from both sides, the person holding it and the person peeking it. Lastly, I want to revisit an earlier tip to help you guys with learning angles: visualization. As we spoke about it before, it's hugely beneficial for you, and it is very helpful when it comes to angle practice. So once again, slowly but surely ingrain these positions in your brain. All of this practice and angles serve a common purpose: smarter CS. It may not seem like it, but good knowledge of the angles on each map is at forefront of being able to make a clever game decision, and it's something that you can't really afford to overlook if you want to make it to the top. Before we close this video out, I want to remind you guys something that, yeah, we have addressed in the previous videos. However, it takes an entirely new significance when we're talking about smart play. What I'm talking about here is tilting. Tilting is the #1 enemy to players playing smart. It hinders their ability to think clearly and make solid decisions. This in turn leads to you messing up more, which will lead to more tilting, and you're just stuck in a vicious cycle. If you're the kind of person who gets tilted, then don't worry. Hop over to the video The 5 Secrets of Solo Queue, where you'll find a comprehensive guide on how to not tilt by yours truly, which will help you stay level-headed in your games to come. All of us here at ProGuides hope that you had a great time watching this video we put together. Make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button, as it took us a little bit to work on this one. There are definitely more videos like this, so if you guys love this content and you want to see more of it, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to answer our question of the day in the comment section down below. We here at ProGuides would always love to hear your thoughts on the current map pool. Speaking of maps, if you really do want to get to the next level in the game, make sure you head over to ProGuides.com, where a wide range of resources are available to help you master the game. We've got everything that you could want from a beginner course to help you with the basics, all the way to the masterclass of Simple himself. You can even hire your own coach today. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and boost your gameplay right now. With that all being said, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.